All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're taking a close look at the law that shapes the entire veterinary profession in the Philippines. We're talking about the Philippine Veterinary Medicine Act of 2004. So, have you ever really thought about it? What's the actual difference between someone who just loves animals and a professional veterinarian? A lot of us are passionate about our pets, but there's way more to it than that.
Well, it turns out the answer is a journey that's literally defined by law. We're talking about Republic Act 9268. This is the official rulebook, the blueprint that lays out the entire path from being a student to becoming a licensed practicing professional.
So, why does this law even exist? What's the point? Well, its whole purpose is to set a really high standard for the profession. And it does that for a very, very important reason. The law states it right at the beginning. The goal is to protect the nation's entire animal population. And this isn't just about our cats and dogs. It's way bigger. We're talking about public health, making sure our food is safe, and the well-being of every single animal in the country. Now, to make sure these high standards are actually met, the law creates a group of, well, you can think of them as gatekeepers. These are the people responsible for watching over the entire profession. Officially, they're called the Professional Regulatory Board of Veterinary Medicine. They're basically the guardians of the profession, a body specifically created to supervise and regulate everything that has to do with veterinary practice in the country.
And let me tell you, getting a spot on this board is no walk in the park. The process is intense. First, you have to be nominated by your own peers. Then, you're recommended by the Professional Regulation Commission. And the final step? You have to be appointed by the President of the Philippines. Yeah, it's a big deal.
So, who exactly can be one of these gatekeepers? The qualifications are incredibly strict. You need at least 10 years of hands-on practice. But what's really interesting is this. You can't be a faculty member or an owner of a vet school. That is so important, right? It totally prevents any conflicts of interest and makes sure every decision is unbiased. And the power they have? It's huge. They don't just write the exam questions. They're the ones who issue the licenses. And, crucially, they're the ones who can take them away. They can investigate violations, issue subpoenas. They are the final word on what's ethical and what isn't in the profession.
Okay, so you're an aspiring vet. How do you actually get that coveted license? You've got to face a massive challenge, what we're calling the licensure gauntlet.
Just to get in the door, you have to clear some hurdles. You obviously need your Doctor of Veterinary Medicine degree, and you have to be of good moral character. But passing? That's the real test. You need a weighted average of 75%, and you absolutely cannot dip below 60% in any single subject. And what are they testing you on? Oh, it's the whole shebang. We're talking parasitology, pharmacology, anatomy, microbiology, public health, you name it. This isn't just about how to treat a sick puppy. It is a deep, comprehensive dive into hard science. So let's focus on that magic number, 75%. That's the bar. If you don't clear it, or if you fall below 60 in even one of those 8 subjects, you're out. You have to try again. They deliberately set the standard for getting into this profession incredibly high. But for the ones who make it through that gauntlet, the journey moves into its final and probably most rewarding phase, officially earning the title of veterinarian. And the final steps to victory are crystal clear. You pass that monster of an exam, you get your official certificate of registration, you take the professional oath, and then, and only then, can you officially practice as a doctor of veterinary medicine. And that oath? It is so much more than just a ceremony. It's a serious, binding promise. You're standing up in public and declaring that you will uphold the high ethical and professional standards this whole law was created to protect. Right, and that promise comes with some very real responsibilities. Having DVM after your name isn't just a right, it's a commitment that has real legal weight and, real consequences if you break it. The law gets super specific about what practicing veterinary medicine actually means. It's everything from diagnosing and treating animals to ensuring our food supply is safe, or even teaching the next generation of vets. The key thing is, only licensed professionals are legally allowed to do any of this. And believe me, this law has teeth. If you practice without a license, you're breaking the law. But get this, if you're a licensed vet and you help someone without a licensed practice, you're breaking the law too. So what happens if you break the rules? The penalties are pretty steep. The fines can go all the way up to 100,000 pesos.
And it's not just about money. The law also allows for jail time up to 5 years. That really shows you just how seriously the state takes protecting this profession and, by extension, the public.
And even after you've earned that license, your career is always under review. The board can actually revoke your license for a bunch of serious offenses, like gross negligence or unethical conduct. This isn't just about punishment, it's about making sure the public and their animals are safe from bad practice. It's about maintaining that trust.
So, when you boil it all down, this whole legal framework is built to protect our animals by making sure only truly qualified people can care for them. And that kind of makes you think, doesn't it? What similar standards and gatekeepers are out there protecting us in other areas of our lives?